Welcome to this daily guided meditation practice. This is the Attentive Mind. My name is Nathan, and I'll be guiding you through this meditation practice today. Find yourself a seated position. You want to find a position that is both sturdy and comfortable. You don't want to feel uncomfortable during the practice because it can be an unnecessary distraction. Your body may be in a weird way, you may be sitting on your foot. You don't need that to happen. So just find something comfortable. You also want to find a sense of stability because it gives us a feeling of groundedness, that we're here to stay. We're not about to get up and go do something else. So a stable position really helps with that. You can sit in a chair if you'd like. You can lie down on the floor, or you can sit in a formal meditation posture. Just find what works for you. We also keep our eyes open during this practice. But if you have learned to practice with your eyes closed, or you feel more comfortable doing so, go ahead and do that. There are no hindrances here. But if your eyes are open, go ahead and drop your gaze down below you, kind of looking at the floor or the desk or whatever is just below you. We're not staring intently at a particular spot on the floor, but we're also not zoned out and blurry. We just have a gentle gaze directed softly, yet clearly downwards. You're in a comfortable and sturdy position, and your eyes are either closed or open, gaze directed softly and clearly downwards. Let's begin by letting go of our intentions with this practice. Whatever the reason it was you turned on a daily meditation practice, a guided practice, all the ideas you have about clearing your mind, about becoming better, just leave them alone. Forget them. Forget any intention, any kind of future seeking. You are here. And meditation only happens now. Seeking a future with meditation is just that, more future seeking. We're here to discover what's already here before we talk about it, before we think about it. That's why it's essential to begin with leaving your intentions, your plans, your expectations alone. They will not help you here. In fact, they will be a hindrance. So just leave them and sit here as if you're completely dumb. You have no idea what's going on. And all there is this moment. And be here as if you were a newborn baby without a past. You didn't come from anywhere, and you're not going anywhere. You are here. Notice what happens when you let go of the intention. Let go of your plans. And just enter this moment. And if you're normal, I'm probably interrupting you right now, talking to yourself in your head. You were thinking about something or planning something, judging something, whatever. That's why a way to keep our attention, or a way to train, rather, our attention to be here and now, we bring our attention away from thoughts. Thoughts will always keep talking. They don't stop. And we erroneously believe that we create them, but we don't. We just pay attention to them all the time. So bring your attention away from thinking to the coming and going sensations of the breath. Just notice the rhythm of the breath as it gently rises and falls on its own accord. And instead of paying attention to this next plan, worry, judgment, just be with breathing and allow your mind to think what it wants to. Stay with the breath. And I'm probably catching you thinking again, and that's all right. When you notice that you're lost in thought, gently return to breathing. Don't get upset. Don't judge yourself like you're doing it wrong or tell yourself you can't do it. Just keep returning to breathing with the attention. And do this, of course, with little force, very effortless. Just come back to the breath, rising and falling. Come back. Come back to breathing, rising and falling. Wake up. Wake up from thinking. Return to breathing, rising and falling. And maybe I'm catching you in the middle of a thought again. And that's all right. But it's interesting, isn't it? That thoughts seem to be talking to you, right? There seems to be a center to which thoughts talk to, and to which thoughts are being noticed. And usually we say that center, this me, is the one creating thoughts. But instead of bringing our attention here to the breath, let's take that attention somewhere else. See if we can find that center to which thoughts are talking to. If this I or this me is real, then it should be able to be found. So turn the attention back. What are thoughts talking to? What understands these words? Now, this isn't a question to be answered in the usual way. If you're finding answers in words, you're far off. If you're having questions in words, you're far off. Turn the attention back. What are you? What hears this voice? Is there actually something there? What do you discover? Leave it alone. Come back. What are those thoughts talking to? What sits here? Use this question as a signpost, pointing to what? It's not a thing. It's not answerable. And if you don't understand, either one, you're thinking about it, or two, you understand. In other words, not seeing, not finding is the finding. So stay there, completely don't know, and utterly rest. All right, you can look at the screen. This practice, a lot of people bounce off of. They start it, and then when they realize, they think that they can't do it. Maybe that's you. Especially on these longer meditations, it could feel a little arduous, a little, how's the word, a little bit difficult. And that's normal. Especially when you begin meditation, sometimes it feels like I did this. When you first start meditating, it feels like the mind's going even crazier than usual. It's even louder than before. But what's happening is that you're just becoming aware of your mind, as it usually is. Because before, you're not aware, you're just in it. And now, when you start practicing, you start noticing how much thinking and craziness comes up. And there's just this constant chatter. And when you hear a teacher or an instructor tell you to bring your attention to the breath, which is very common, it can seem frustrating because you bring it to the breath and immediately you're thinking about dinner, or then immediately you're thinking about that TikTok video or that fight you had with your mother, and whatever it is. And it just feels like this difficulty to come back. But the trick here is pretty interesting. It's pretty simple. Just leave it alone, no matter how many times you get lost in it. A lot of the times we judge the practice. We say, I can't, I hear this all the time. I can't meditate, my mind's too crazy. And we don't see that the mind can be as crazy as it wants to be. You're not the mind. You're not the thoughts. So, but to learn, that's why we bring it to breathing and we learn to leave it alone. So we can do that and you feel like maybe one breath, maybe even half a breath, then you're back into thoughts again. Leave it alone, come back. Yeah, but then just leave it alone, come back. Leave it alone, come back. No matter how often you have to do it. And it's not like a forcing, it's not like a pulling back to the, damn it, stay there. It's more of just, okay, thinking, come back. Oh, there it is again. Okay, come back. Oh, there. Breathing. I promise. It just feels that way because, I don't know, if you've ever played a video game for a long time, or if you ever watch a Netflix series all day, like 8 hours in one day, there's like this groggy, difficult feeling of paying attention. You can't really like have a conversation afterwards, or you just can't really read a book or anything after that. It's like so, you're just too distracted. That's because our day-to-day life is very distractible. We're usually distracted. So when we actually sit down to pay attention, to bring our attention somewhere else, there's this contrast that happens. So don't worry about it. Just leave it alone and come back. Just leave it alone and come back, and don't judge. Don't judge your ability to do this meditation. There really are no good meditations and bad meditations. Each meditation is a meditation, as long as you're meditating, as long as you're learning. You just keep leaving thinking alone, leaving it alone. Then it shows up. Just don't expect a future. Don't expect some sort of experience or some sort of outcome. Don't judge your practice. Just leave the chatter alone. Thank you for showing up today. And as always, and without exception, I'll see you tomorrow.